let go of the reins and let life present to you what you're meant to have. Hello Starshine, it's me Helena. I hope you're having the most magical day. If you are new here to my new channel, welcome. I'm Helena and I live in France. I'm an American living in France. You may know me from my other YouTube channel, Simple Joys. And if you are a returning viewer, hello, it's so great to connect with you again here. Thank you so much for watching. And I'm so excited to talk very casually. This is gonna be a very casual video about how I manifested my husband, because I definitely have always believed that I've manifested him. And there was a story behind it. There was definitely a story behind how he came into my life and where I was at before he came into my life, and there's a lot to unpack. I hope you have a cozy drink with you, and let's just get right into it. I've always believed in manifestation since I was 15. I've been regularly practicing different tools and ways to attract things into my life. That was weird. The hair dryer in the bathroom just randomly turned on. I never dated in high school. There was one guy, I had a boyfriend in like the 8th grade, but I don't really count that at all because it was kind of silly, It wasn't until I was 18 and I left home and I moved to New York City by myself that's when I really started dating and having boyfriends. And so I started dating very frequently in college at 18. Lots of different guys, just casual, nothing serious, just going on dates, dinner dates, movies, plays, stuff like that. It wasn't until I was 19 that I had my first boyfriend. After that relationship, I realized how much I wanted to experience my first serious relationship, because I had never had a boyfriend that I could see a future with. There were guys that I dated. I would, date casually for a month or two, but nothing that I ever felt, serious about anyone. So it wasn't until I was 19 and that boyfriend moved away that I realized, okay, universe, I'm really ready to have my first relationship. I'm ready to have my first serious boyfriend. And that led to a year of dating. I've always been a romantic. I've always, believed in being with one person and finding the one person and just being with them forever. I'm kind of old-fashioned when it comes to relationships and to dating and to just all of that. I'm very old-fashioned. And so after that year of data collecting and dating different people and discovering my preferences, I wrote a list of exactly what I wanted in my future partner. Some things were very specific. I wrote down that I wanted to marry either a Virgo or a Capricorn sun. Very specific. I wanted someone that had a very fast mind, someone that's very quick-witted and clever and sharp and could be sarcastic and witty and just be very clever with words, even hair color and stuff. I have certain things that I like, and I won't settle for less than what I want. Is kind of my opinion with relationships. I have never dated bad guys. I've never dated anyone who didn't treat me the way that I thought I should be treated. I've always had a high degree of self-worth in regards to relationships with people, because I just won't take anything less than what I deserve. And that high self-worth is, I believe, a huge part of why I manifested my husband, is because I knew that I deserved the best and I wouldn't settle for anything less than that. And so that high confidence in believing I deserve to be with someone amazing or no one at all is what opened and allowed the ideal partner to flow into my life. About a month after I wrote down that list, I was still dating people. I was still going on dates. And at that point, I was fed up with dating. I had dated so many guys at that point that I was just I'm never gonna find him. I'm never gonna find my partner. He's never gonna come. And I really believed that. After dating about 5 guys for a month each, None of them worked out, even though I really liked all of them. All of them I was just enamored by, and none of them worked out. Either they ended it or I ended it. There were some guys that were amazing, and then at the last second, at the last moment, they just turned and I saw their true colors. And so at that point, I was really discouraged from dating. I was really discouraged with men and just with finding the one. I gave up, essentially. I was about to delete my OkCupid profile, which is what I was using to go on online dates. And I was about to delete it. Like, I was so fed up at that point. I wrote in my diary for weeks about how I was completely fine with being single forever. I was totally fine. Like, I had really believed that I would never find my person and I would just be single forever, and that's okay. Totally okay. Because I can do well on my own. I'm very independent. I don't really need a partner in order to be satisfied with my life. I feel immense fulfillment just on my own personal journey. When I logged into OkCupid to go delete my profile after just being discouraged and feeling like I was giving up on dating for good. Looking back though, I was like 20 years old, like such a baby, like come on Helena. But I went to go delete my profile and I had this random gut impulse, like a gut feeling, an instinct to one more time swipe through. One last swipe, one last scroll. And when I was swiping, Alex's picture came up. And I looked into his eyes and I just knew. I knew. I didn't know that he was gonna be like the one or like marriage material or any of that. Like I wasn't thinking about marriage at that point, but I knew that I had to meet him. I looked at his picture, my gut just said, I have to meet this guy. I have to meet him. I don't care what I have to do. Like I have to have one date with this guy. And I clicked like, and then he liked me back. And so when he saw that we both liked each other on the app, he sent me a very long message, long, detailed, poetic, intelligent, witty, clever message. And he was teasing me in the message, which I love to be teased. I love to be made fun of. And that playfulness, I just really appreciate in other people and friendships as well. And he sent me this very witty, teasing message, and I just was like, oh my God, like this, I have to meet him. I have got to have a date with this guy. And this was in December of 2014, and so I was very hopeful about him. I was so hopeful. Our messages were wonderful, and like we were just in sync. We had chemistry in the messages, and we set up our first date for January 5th of 2015, the first Monday of the year. We went out to an Indian restaurant for dinner. So good. We both love Indian food. And then we went out to the Strand bookstore to look at books because we both love reading. And I really believe that I manifested him because of a few things. The first, I had a high level of self-worth in regards to relationships, in that I really believed that I deserved to have this kind of person in my life, and I don't deserve anything less. And I would rather be alone for the rest of my life than be with someone who doesn't treat me so well and isn't like my soulmate and my best friend and my romantic partner all in one. Like I had high standards, and I think that's okay to have high standards. I think that's perfectly valid and okay. And I think we as women, we gotta have high standards, and we have to believe that we deserve frickin' Prince Charming. And so that high self-worth, the giving up, the surrendering, I think is also another huge part of why I think I manifested him. I think that if I was desperate or needy or clingy or feeling like I need to meet my life partner right now, I definitely don't think he would have shown up in my life. He only came because I was open to receive. I had surrendered and given up to the idea completely. When I gave up, that's when he appeared. And I think surrender and the act of not caring anymore and just being like, F it. Like literally saying fuck it is one of the most powerful things you can do, because you're releasing resistance to the thing you want in your life. When you release resistance by not caring and giving up, and I don't say giving up, but surrendering. You don't want to give up. Giving up sounds hopeless. I don't mean be hopeless. I mean just surrender. let go of the reins and let life present to you what you're meant to have. And so when I surrendered, when I had a high degree of self-worth, and when I knew exactly what I wanted in a partner by writing it down and knowing exactly the person I wanted in my life, those three things is, I believe, why I manifested my husband. My husband, who is the most amazing person in my life. I manifested him very easily. At a very young age. I was 20 when I met him. I'm 27 now. We've been together 7 years. And it still feels like butterflies. It still feels like the first date. We still tease each other and are playful, and we still have that witty back and forth. And I believe it's because we met each other at the right time. And Alex's story is very similar. I don't want to speak for him. Maybe we'll do another video where he shares his story. But it was very similar for him. You know, he knew exactly what he wanted in a partner, and he knew he wanted to meet his person. Like, at that point, he was so ready to meet his person. He was 25 at the time. And he moved to New York very hopeful and excited. But he had also been on lots of dates, and he felt kind of like, maybe this isn't gonna work. That surrender and just letting go of your destiny is, I think, what allowed both of us to meet each other at exactly the right time. We were both an energetic match because we were both in the same headspace. We both knew what we wanted, but we had surrendered to the idea of having it. Besides my spiritual connection with my higher self and the universe and all that, and nature, the best thing in my life is my husband and our marriage. Our marriage is truly the easiest thing in my life, the most natural and wonderful thing in my life. And I'm so grateful. If I could go back in time and tell 19-year-old Helena, who is dating so much, going on so many dates, meeting so many guys, like, I wish I could just tell her, this is good. Data collect the information. All of these, relationships and dating, all of this is teaching you and telling you what you want in your forever partner. So I hope this video helps you. I just really wanted to share my own story, how I believe, and I've always believed that I've manifested him into my life because of those things. And I hope that my story and my journey inspires you or encourages you to get out there and to start dating and to start meeting people, because meeting people and putting yourself out there is the only way you're ever gonna find your person. You have to actually take action and go out there and meet people. Like, that's so important. If I had just stayed in my apartment and never gone out and never made those dates, never put myself out there and taken those risks, I never would have met Alex. And also, I never would have known exactly what I wanted, because I wouldn't have had that time to data collect and to find out what it was that I needed in a partner. It's just, it feels like, what a journey it's been, I look back at my younger self and I see how I was exactly in the right place that I was meant to be at that time. And I'm so glad I took action and went out on those dates, because it all led to this, to where I am now in France, living my dream freaking life. Like, this is my dream life. Like, sometimes I pinch myself and I think it's never gonna be as good as this. Like, this is my peak. I often think that. But that's more work that I have to do on me, is saying, no, this isn't your peak. You still have more to go. Sure, this is wonderful, but it's gonna get even better. And that's something that I'm like training myself to believe right now. But I hope this encourages you. I hope this uplifts you and it inspires you.